Hey, all the best to Mayor.
Okay, have a good day, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank
21st
you.
December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Where the boats don't go. He was talking about because Ozil biyome Nisan l'makom Tishrei. He went during the days of Nisan, where there's a lot of water, into into the into the into the place where the boats go only in Tishrei. So it's true that in Tishrei that's called chartered waters. That's called the proper place to be. But in Nisan, it's not the proper place to be. Rashi explained that the boat could capsize because the waters at that it going closer towards the center of the river are gadol v'chazak, and Yecholin v'nitba. So weiter. The way the Gemara is explaining, it doesn't seem to be much of a chiddush what the Brisa is saying. Obviously, you can't go in that place during Nisan. It's dangerous. So what's the chiddush after all is said and done? Well, the Gemara's explanations. What's the chiddush that the Brisa is telling me? Even the way the Gemara is explaining what the Brisa is talking about is no chiddush. So that's what I asked everybody to think about at the end of yesterday's shir. And so what we have to do over here is we've got to read the rest of the words of the Gemara. Because maybe the Gemara is going to explain us what the Havamina was. In other words, you go to where the Gemara says Nisan lemkom Tishrei. The boat was traveling during the days of Nisan in the place that goes only in Tishrei. So at that point in the Gemara, we could think to ourselves, if so, then obviously he's at fault and there will be no ship insurance. So what's the chiddush? The Gemara explains, though, in the next few words. Let's try to see what the Gemara is trying to explain to see what the chiddush actually is in that case. So we're up to Mahu de Tema. Mahu de Tema.
I say it, it's on 116B2, the last line.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Roy, you want to read?
Okay. Thank you. Mahu de Tema, device,
Okay, what was it?
knock it, the Ozil. You might, I'm turning over now, 116B3. 116B3 at the top left hand. You might have said that this does not constitute negligence, for he is simply following his routine of previous months. Ka mashemea lan. The Brisa therefore informs us that this does not constitute negligence, therefore this does constitute negligence, therefore he is not reimbursed by the other sailors. If that's his excuse, that he's just following what ships did before that, that's not good enough. Because he should know he shouldn't be there a certain month.
Yeah. So just looking to see if there's a Rashi over here. Rashi, I don't see any Rashi over here. Shamalo Kamintale Kamash Malan. No. Chashvin Lefi Masoi. Benisan. Ba'azal Hayak Benisan Lamakum Tishrei. No. No, there's no Rashi over here. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Gemora. That's the Gemora is trying to explain what the Hiddush is. Ma'udatema, what would you have? What might you have thought to say in such a case like this, where he's going during the days of Nisan, in the place where you are only supposed to go in Tishrei? You might have thought to say, Davshe Nokit Vazil. He got caught up in his habit of going in this location in the river, because he does do that during Tishrei. So you might have thought to say that on that account, he's not at fault. Kamash Malon, he's at fault. Okay. Okay, if you like that answer, so then you're good to go. All right. Fine. That's the Gemara's answer. All right. One thing I would say is I wouldn't want that guy to be my captain. He's asleep at the wheel. I don't know how that could be interpreted to be not at fault. Okay. So let's go to the next section of the Gemara. Tan Rabbanan, Shayara, Shahaisa Maleches Bamidbar, Omad Gais, Utarfa. Okay. Who's got the place?
116b3, second paragraph. The Gemara cites.
Alan, you got the place. No, okay. So, Alan? Okay. Lou, you want to take over?
Okay, the Gemara cites another brisa regarding a caravan. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught in the brisa, She Yara, She Haisa, Me Ha-Leches, Bamidbar. Let's see, a caravan was traveling in the desert. Va'amad Goyim or Goyis Uta Rafa. And there arose a troop that plundered it. Va'amad echad mehen v'hitzil. And there arose one of them and rescued.
It's one of the caravan members.
One of the members of the caravan, right. That's in parentheses.
Hamad Echad Mehen.
Right, there rose one from them, and in parentheses, it says members of the caravan.
Hmm.
And then the English says that what he rescued was the plundered property.
V'hitzil.
Hitzilo v'lem tza. He has rescued it for everyone. Ve'im amar ani atzio le'atzmi. But if he said, I will rescue for myself, hitzil la'atzmo, he rescues for himself.
Okay, so this is related to what we spoke about with the saving of the donkeys, with the saving of the honey. The only difference is that in those cases we said that the saver is not he's not saving for himself. He's saving for the person that owns the honey or that owns the donkey. So over here, there's there's a potential that what if he says that he's saving only for himself, so then that'll be everything that he saves will be for himself, even if it may belong, I guess, to somebody else, because the truth of the matter is it doesn't belong to that guy anymore, because it was taken from him by the Gaius. And how is it that it now belongs to the person that saves it? Maybe Rashi will explain us. Hitzil emsa.
Hitzil emsa saves it. Basically, emsa is, this saying for, it's like in the middle. Kol echad, everyone, makir et shalai. Everybody recognizes his own things. The notel, and they take it. And
okay, so that's in the event that this one group or singular individual, whatever it was, that rescued the stolen property away from the Gaius, but he didn't make any stipulation. He just went ahead and did it. So if he just went ahead and did it without making any stipulation about who he's saving for, the halacha will be that he saved it for the whoever it was, that he saved it for everybody. So what does it mean he saved it for everybody? It's also not the case that everybody can just say, oh, we'll divide it equally. Rashi says more than that. Rashi says no, that each person can recognize his thing that he owned before it was stolen, and he can claim it. So you got to be lucky. If the rescuer rescued your stuff, so you're in luck. But if he didn't rescue your stuff, so then you're out of luck. But at any rate, it doesn't all belong to the rescuer. That's the point. That's when he doesn't stipulate that he's saving who he's saving for. But if he says, Ani atzil atzmi, if he says what I'm saving over here away from the Gaius is all for myself, because after all, I'm the one that's risking my life to go and fight with them and get the stuff back. So that's his right to say that. And but the halachic how does it work in halacha? How does it work in halacha over here? These things used to belong to the other people in the caravan. And so now when they were stolen by the Gaius, so fine, that's like a Goslin that steals something from a person. So what do we say about a person that has things that is stolen from him? It is the Goslin doesn't acquire it. He's got a mitzvah of Heshifes Agzela Asher Gazal, and somebody who takes it from the Goslin, does he own it? We didn't see anywhere that if somebody takes it away from the Goslin, so then it belongs to him. So this din over here is a bit of a chiddush. And if you want to know, Rashi explains the chiddush. There's no Rashi. So maybe that's because the Gemora is going to now go into this. Because I see the next line of the Gemora is Heiki Dami. The Gemora says, 1 second over here. What's going on? Heiki Dami. How is it that this guy, if he says, I'm saving for myself, and we say the Brisa says, yeah, he'll be able to save for himself. He'll be able to take all this for himself. How is that so? The Gemara is asking the question. So let's read on in the Gemora. Heiki Dami. And who would like to read at this point? Phil.
The Hechi dummy. That's how does it work out? Wait a second. The Hechi dummy. How does it work? Even if you can save it, a filo safer nami also. If you could save it, why it should say in the saver also it should say that it goes to everybody in the middle. The low, and if he can't, if he can't save it, a filo the reshit nami also. It also for the resha would also be la'atzmi, would also be for himself. So we're trying to understand the case, which case we're talking about. The problems either way.
Okay, so we did see something like this. Maybe Tosfos mentioned it, or I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the Gemora is taking on like this. Hechidami. Hechidami means in what exactly happened over here? We're missing facts in this case. We need to know something very important. What do we need to know? We need to know the following thing. We need to know, was the things that was stolen now by the Gaius, are they now, in terms of halacha, are they regarded as things that are yochol lahatzil or lo yochol lahatzil? Is it something that was capable of being saved or not? We had this in regard to the matter of the honey and the donkeys also, because the Gemora itself said before, look, if the saver is saving the donkey or saving the honey in such a scenario that the honey is not really capable of being saved in a normal situation, so then it becomes hefker. It becomes hefker, and therefore the ownership of the person is now torn asunder, is undone, and he doesn't own it anymore. And so therefore we would understand very well that the one who saves it from such a matzav, such a situation of being incapable of being saved, so he's really just claiming it from hefker. So if he wants to, he could claim it all for himself, because he's the one that's acquiring it from hefker. It doesn't belong to the other guy anymore. So that's what the Gemara is asking in a very either yochol lahatzil, if it's regarded in halacha as being capable of being retrieved from the clutches of these pirates over here, the pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. Then this Gemara says we don't understand the ruling of the Brisa. Afilu seifa nami leemsa. It doesn't matter what he says. He could say it all belongs to me for 100 times. It makes no difference if it's considered to be that the spoils are capable of being recovered. So then they still belong really to the original owners. They don't become hefker, and so therefore, whoever saves it, it's going to be be'emsa, even if he says that it's all for me. His words are of no force and effect. So that's one thing the Gemara says. Then the Gemara says the opposite. If, on the other hand, we're regarding this stuff that was stolen as being it's not being capable of being retrieved. It's not being capable of being retrieved. So then, in that case, it's hefker. It's hefker, and therefore the Gemara says afilu reisha nami la'atzmo. Even in the case where he didn't say anything, even if he didn't say anything, it's all for him. It's all for him. So the Gemara has asked what we call an eisen akasha, an ironclad kasha that there's no way out over here. We either way you look at it, says the Gemara, this what it says in the Brisa does not make any sense, and so we're gonna have to see what the Gemara has to say over here. We have a Rashi over here, I shiacholim. Since Phil read the Gemara, maybe Lou can take the Rashi.
Okay. Where is it?
Shiacholim.
Got it. Ba'alim le hatzil lo lo yeush afilu amar la'atzmo gazlan hu. So the owners of the stolen property did not give up on their ownership, even if they say, even if he says for myself, he's a gazlan. The rescuer cannot keep the stuff because the owners did not give up hope. So they still own it. So the rescuer, if he tries to keep it, he's a thief.
Right. So in the Gemara is saying, Rashi's tying in the issue of Yeush, whether the original owners despaired on their stuff. So the Gemara doesn't say anything about Yeush. All the Gemara says is the Gemara says if it was stuff that was Yecholim Yecholim, it's a run on Rashi. Yecholim Bailim lahatzil kama. If it's the type of a situation that this stuff would be capable of being rescued away from the guys, if it was such a situation like that, so then we say the Bailim are not miyayish. The owners are not despairing from their recovering their property. So they were not miyayish, says Rashi. Oh, if they're not miyayish, so then they still are the owners. There's no hefker in such case, and so therefore the rescuer, no matter what he says, he's called a gazlan if he tries to keep it. because he's not rescuing it for himself. He can't rescue it for himself. He doesn't own it because it was never hefker, because they were never mi'aish, because it was a situation was capable of being saved. Okay, so based upon that Rashi, we can understand the what the Gemora said in the case where it's not capable of being saved. If it wouldn't be a situation that would be capable of the stuff being saved from the guys, so then we would impute a yeush to the guys, I guess, to the owners, and it would be hefker. And then the rescuer, if he would somehow, some way, be able to get it back, even though it was technically, halachically regarded as being not capable of getting it back, he could keep it, even if he didn't say it's all for me. Okay.
So
that's
I'm trying to understand, why does it bother saying that he says, if he says this, if he says that, if we're learning that it doesn't matter what he says anyway?
Well, this is exactly what the Gemara's question is. When the Gemara says "Hey chidami," it really is asking a mamon of shak question. Either way that you look at this, what happened in this brisa, the brisa is problematic, because there's two ways to look at this brisa. There's two possibilities over here, says the Gemara. Either the stuff was capable of being saved al pi halacha, or it was not capable of being saved al pi halacha. There's only two choices, says the Gemara, and so if it was not capable of being saved, so then he doesn't need to say anything. He's saving something from hefker. And on the other hand, if it was yes capable of being saved, so it also doesn't matter what he says, because it doesn't belong to him just because he says he's rescued it for himself, because it was never hefker. It still belongs to the original owners. So that's the Gemara's question. What difference does it make what he says? That the halacha will not be according to what he says. The halacha will be according to whether it was capable of being saved or not. In other words, we're talking about it's a fine point over here. The Gemara is saying there's such a thing as in halacha, we're regarding the stuff as being capable of being saved, or we're going to regard the stuff as being not capable of being saved. There's two halachic parameters over here that we're talking about. The fact of the matter is that we're talking about the fact that the stuff was saved by this guy. But that doesn't prove that it was that doesn't prove to the Gemara that it's called in halacha stuff that was capable of being saved. That's the knetch over here. That's the fine point that the Gemara is pointing out over here. Okay, and we've got time, so we got to go to the answer. We're gonna have three answers over here. This is not a simple resolution over here. So we have three different answers to try to explain what's going on in this brisa. So we'll start with the answer of Rami Bar Chama. Amar Rami Bar Chama, and we go to Roy.
Rami Bar Chama said, and it says here that the brisa speaks in all cases, both where the others are able to rescue their goods and where they are unable to do so. So and here the brisa, we are dealing with a case which the rescuer and the other members of the caravan were partners in the stolen property. Shute Cholik Shalo Us Chaviro. And in such a case, that is where his money stands to be lost, a partner may dissolve the partnership and divide its assets without the consent of his fellow partners. Thus, a brisa is to be understood as follows. Omer Polig, if the rescuer said, I will rescue for myself, he has effectively divided the assets. Therefore, he keeps whatever he rescues as his portion of the former partnership. Lo Omer, but if he did not say anything, Lo Polig, he has not divided the assets, so whatever he rescues is shared with his partner.
Okay, let's see Rashi. Hacha b'shutif.
That they're partners. Ubain Yicholim, let's say, whether he's able to. It's either way. It doesn't matter whether he could save or he couldn't save. Whether he saves or he doesn't save.
Now that's what I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't matter. If in other words, if this property is owned in partnership, it was stolen, it's owned in partnership by the people on the caravan. Let's make the case easy. They're all partners. So now we say that it doesn't make a difference whether it was capable of being. It doesn't matter whether it's capable of being saved or not. In other words, even in the case where it was capable of being saved, so that according to the halacha that we said before, it's not hefker. It's not hefker. The other partners still own their partnership interest in the property. Even in that case, he as a partner, the saver, the one who is rescuing it. So what he rescues, there's a halacha that he can shutif cholek shelo ladas chavero. He can one of the shutfim, this person was a rescuer. He can divide the assets of the stolen property and take out his portion, as long as it's a 1/20th share of the property, and he could say, this is my partnership property that I am rescuing, because we dissolved the partnership. And I can do that even without your consent, without all the other partners' consent. One partner can dissolve the partnership without their consent and take his property and say goodbye. So, but and he doesn't have to say that to anybody. Sounds like he doesn't have to say it to anybody. But he says Amar Polig. Amar Polig. Amar, if he said it, Polig. Lo Amar, Lo Polig. Is there a Rashi on that?
I'm a Polig.
Oh yeah, we got a few Rashis already still to get to. Okay, maybe Rashi's gonna. So Kagon zeh.
Goes and like this. Makom ibud money, in a place where there's a loss of money.
Oh,
And
okay. In other words, it was lost, but it doesn't matter whether it even if it would not be capable of being retrieved, or even if it is capable of being retrieved, he could be cholek, shutif cholek.
if they divide it, a filo lo chavreo, even if the friend doesn't want it, he could divide it up. Even if they don't want to divide it, he could divide it.
So when he rescues over here, it's a mukum of ibud mammon. That's the situation over here. Kagon zeh. I'm okay. Let's leave that on the side for a minute. I'm just wondering whether we need to say that altogether. I don't know why we need to say that. If the partnership property was not stolen by the guys, would this guy be able to just go into the warehouse and say, I'm dissolving the partnership, I'm taking my share, bye? I don't know whether you need a situation of ibud momen. Why Rami Bar Chama is saying that, or if he's just saying, that this would be a case why the partner would like to do this. But okay, I'm not going to get hung up on that. So the main point is that in this situation, this is a situation of ibud mammon, and whether it's capable of being saved or not, but the guy is going to go and save it. So if he Amar Polig.
Okay.
So
okay, it's time now. Anyway.
Time anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Shabbat shalom.
Wow, it seemed like it was just 22. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep.
Talking about pirates. All the best, everybody, and a good Shabbos to Phil. Shabbat shalom. And we will see one another, Be'ezus Hashem, tomorrow for the next installment of Nefesh HaChaim, chapter 21. Stay tuned.
Thank you. See you. Bye for now.